guys, welcome back to Royally Reading. I'm Sam. Today I wanted to share my October TBR. I probably won't make it all the way through it, but I'm going to try really hard to get through as much as I can. So first off, we have Call of the Night. This is volume 2. This is by Koteyama. I already read volume 1, which I really enjoyed. So I also have 2, 3, and volume 4. This is about a human named Ko who ends up hanging out with a vampire girl at night because he has trouble sleeping and is generally bored with human life during the day. I'm also hoping to get through another Fear Street. I've started this one a couple times, but I keep setting it down for other stuff. This one is The Perfect Date. I have several R.L. Stine books that I have yet to finish, so hopefully I can get through another one. I also have World War Z. This is one that I picked up this year. I remember when this was really big, and I've never been the biggest fan of zombies because I'm squeamish and I don't like gore when it comes to movies or video games. I can't handle it. But in books, I'm perfectly good to go. So, going to give World War Z a try. I picked this one up earlier this year. Hopefully I make it through. I also have Prom Nights from Hell. This one features a few stories. It has 5 different stories by YA authors like Meg Cabot, who wrote The Princess Diaries. It also has Stephanie Meyer, who wrote Twilight. So I picked this up several years ago at a local library event, but I never actually got through it. You'd figure that with it being only 5 stories, I would have made some progress in it by now. Nope. Hopefully this is the year, though. You might know that I have Dreams of Tomorrowland, which is my other bookstagram where I talk about YA and kids books. So for over there, I'm planning to revisit Scooby-Doo. These are the Scooby-Doo mysteries from Little Apple, which is a Scholastic print. These books came out, the copyright is 1999. I don't know if I can actually, no, I can't get that, but you have to trust me. It's from 1999. I used to pick these up at the book fair and at Barnes & Noble. These were staples when I was a kid, so I'm excited to revisit at least one. I'll probably for sure finish this one since it's very short. This one is the Carnival Creeper. It's only 59 pages, so it's itty bitty teeny tiny, but you can't go wrong with Scooby-Doo at Halloween time. I'm also going to be finishing up the second Graveyard Girls book by Lissy Harrison. This one's for a tour. But I'm very excited because I read the first book and I was obsessed with Lissy Harrison's books when I was in middle and high school. I was obsessed with The Clique, with Massey and Claire, and it's so nice to have a new series by her to read through. I also have Monster High, but I haven't read through it yet. I plan to, I just haven't, but I'm excited to jump into the second Graveyard Girls, Scream for the Camera. I already read the first book. It's actually here off to the side of my bed, but book 2 coming soon. I'll also be reading, and I mentioned this in my intro video, Alan Wake. I'm actually almost done with this one. I wanted to start it right on the start of the month. I have already read all of this. This is all I have left, and I read most of this yesterday. So here's hoping that I'll be able to finish it within the next day or 2. Fingers crossed, start October off real strong. This one is based on the video game of the same name, Alan Wake, and it follows the titular character, Alan Wake, who is an author staying in Bright Falls, which is a place in the Pacific Northwest, and he starts having all kinds of issues when his wife goes missing, and he fights things called the Taken. They do not like light, shadows, and darkness are great for them, but not for Alan. It's been very fun, and I'm hoping to wrap that up soon. I also have Meg, which I have read before. I'm hoping for a reread because I have the next 3 books in the series that come after this one. There are more books in the series, I just don't have them yet. I'm hoping to pick them up. I read the book years before the movie came out. I did see the sequel this year, Meg 2, for my birthday back in August. I was just hoping to revisit it. I love it. 2 words, Jurassic Shark. I love creature features, and creature features during October is it's one of my favorite things, is just watching B-rate creature movies and standard creature movies like Arachnophobia and Jurassic Park and Tremors. It's kind of my cup of tea. I have a couple extra comics here. I have Vampire, The Masquerade. I haven't read these yet. These are published by Vault. I have several Vault horror comic titles. Several I've read, several I haven't. Like I read The Last Book You'll Ever Read, which I really enjoyed. So I'm hoping that these will be really good too. I love reading comics. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know I read tons of comics. I do it for work and I do it for fun, and yeah, hopefully I can get through these 2 volumes very soon. I also have, speaking of sequels, The Curse of the Wendigo by Rick Yancey. This is the 2nd book in the Monstrumologist series. I read the Monstrumologist, the 1st book, during either 2020 or 2021. I actually managed to binge read it in a day because, you know, we're in quarantine and I didn't have anything to do but pretty much read. So that's what I did, and I binged it and I loved it. I think Rick Yancey's an incredible writer in that particular book, so I'm looking forward to reading the sequel. I also have the next 2 books in the series, number 3 and 4, so hopefully I can keep making progress in this series this year. I also have Jane Bites Back, which is Jane Austen if she was a vampire. I love Jane Austen. I love Pride and Prejudice. I read all the Jane Austen retellings I can find. I have a whole stack that I need to read that I haven't yet. This is one of those. I don't know if I'll actually make it through, but it's here. It's on my list. Maybe I can drag it into November if I can't get through it now. But I'm excited because, again, I love Austen so much. I also have, this is another book I picked up from a library, as a library freebie several years ago. It's called Devil's Kiss. It involves the Knights Templar. I just think it looks really neat, and I feel like its cover just kind of has a very fall, October-ish vibe. So hopefully it's really good. This is a YA book. I have no idea how it's going to go. I don't fully know what it's about. It came out in 2009. So hopefully I can finally knock this off my list instead of just having it harbored in the room across the way. Additionally, I have Mary Will I Die. This book I got from my boyfriend's sister. She was getting rid of a bunch of books she wasn't sure what she wanted to keep, and this was one she wanted to get rid of. I don't think she liked it much. But I told her that I would take them off her hands and give them a go, see what I thought. So I've been holding on to this one for just a couple months for Halloween. It looks interesting. It involves Bloody Mary, which I think most of us know about. I used to talk about it with my friends back in school when I was in school over 10 years ago. Never did it though. As a Latina, like, you know better than to mess with any of that stuff. Like, nope, El Cucuy, Bloody Mary, You keep all of that away. La Llorona comes to your door and you're like, no, get away from here. So, very interested in seeing what this has in store for me this month. I also have some L.J. Smith. I have this volume of The Vampire Diaries, which I've never read, never seen, but I've heard dozens of things about. I used to read a lot of vampire books. There are still several on my list, including this one. But I had picked these up secondhand, and it has The Awakening and The Struggle. I really like volumes that have multiple books in them. I'm hoping to at least get through The Awakening, because that would be great. So hopefully I get to meet Elena, Stefan, and Damon and jump into that fandom. And speaking of L.J. Smith, I also have Night World. I have all of the volumes of this series. I just haven't read it. I also have her other one, The Secret Circle, I think it is. But anyway, I'm hoping to get through Secret Vampire. I had started it years ago, but I don't really remember it. And I'm hoping that I can actually have a full-blown read-through of Night World. Again, I really used to enjoy vampire books. I was big on, I wasn't big on Twilight. My friends were huge on Twilight, so I read through them. But I really enjoyed the Morganville vampires after that. I also have Dracula sitting in the other room. And I have other vampire books in the works. But right now, Vampire Diaries and Night World are the big two that I want to start working through this month. So, is there anything else? No, because Alebrijes is for November. I'm holding on to that for a little bit later, like towards the end of October, beginning November. So we can have a Dia de los Muertos read. So this wraps up my TBR. Lots of books. I probably won't get through half of them. But that's okay. I'm a mood reader, so I prefer to have too many options than too few. So you can follow me on Royally Reading to see how my challenge is progressing for this month and to see reviews for all of these different wonderful books that I'm tackling. That concludes this video. I will see you soon.